So in my last video, I talked about the big update coming this month for Saints Row. I talked about a lot of different things that are coming down the pike in terms of updates, in terms of patches that they're going to do to the game. And to me, what is my most important update? What is the one that I'm looking forward to the most? Let's talk about it. Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Now, in my last two videos, I talked about the November Saints Row update that's coming out, and I really believe that this is going to be the first step towards making this game a little bit better. Maybe not for everyone, but a little bit better in terms of playability, in terms of replay value, in terms of getting more people and getting new people to get invested into the game. But what about after this update? What about what's next? Today, I wanted to talk about what I feel should be going into the expansion pass in 2023. Now, I might be a little long-winded here, but I'm going to cut straight to the point. What really needs to happen in this expansion, what really needs to happen when it comes to content, when it comes to replayability, when it comes to what should be added, what should be subtracted, here's my thoughts. And these are just my thoughts. Feel free to discuss with me in the comments below, civilly, I might add. But to me, I think the biggest thing that needs to be implemented into the game in the expansion pass is the writing. A lot of people had a lot of things to say about the writing of the story of the reboot. Now, some people loved it, some people didn't love it. It's subjective. Everyone's going to have an opinion. Everybody's opinion should be respected and not attacked. I'm just going to make that clear right now. But there is a general consensus that something needed to be fine-tuned in the writing. There's some plot holes that needed to be cleared up that weren't. There was some dialogue in there that really wasn't the best. And that's not to say that that's a bad thing. It's a good thing that people can call out those things because we need to. Because how are they going to get better? How are they going to improve if we don't have the feedback available to give them in order for them to improve? If we don't provide feedback for these developers to say, hey, here's what needs to be fixed, here's what needs to be worked on, here's what needs to do better on, then we can't expect the game to change. We can't expect the devs to listen. If all we do is attack every single time, then how are they going to have any motivation? How are they going to have any desire to fix what needs to be fixed? Change doesn't happen when you attack and attack and attack. Change doesn't happen when you go aggressively into something. Change does not happen when you continuously threaten. Change happens when you are open and you are honest and you are sincere and you are civil and you give constructive criticism and feedback. And us as a community need to do better when it comes to that aspect. And when it comes to the writing of this game, there can be improvements. There can be things that are done better. And with this expansion being next year, I do believe that there could be more improvements made. Now, with a writer just now leaving development, when a writer just now leaving Volition, I should say, it gives more cadence to the fact that maybe they're going to have another writer step in and improve the writing of the game. We don't know that for sure. I can't say that for sure. I can't speak on if this writer was let go or whatever. Well wishes to her. I will say that now. Well wishes to her. I'm not going to speculate on why she's leaving or what the circumstances were, because that's not my place. It's never my place. It shouldn't be anybody's place to speculate and spread rumors like that, things of that nature. But if another writer is being brought in to improve the writing of the expansion pass and maybe future games, why is that a bad thing? I saw some people on that comment that she was leaving Volition saying, oh, I guess there's no DLC. I guess the DLC's canceled. First off, they never said that. Secondly, I wouldn't want them to, because that's just them admitting defeat. And 3, they said they were going to be pushing this game for the long haul. I believe that they are. I believe that they made their investment with this game. As much as people had negative feedback on it, and as much as people had negative reviews on it, there were people that, believe it or not, loved this game. There are people, believe it or not, that played this game and still play this game and still want to play this game. And that pushed it over the top. And now they're going to be continuously developing more things for the game. We've got a huge November update coming, which I believe is going to turn the game around. It should. And it better, because they put a lot of work into it. And I think that they want it to be better. They want the game to be good. They want this update to succeed. But in terms of the expansion pass, the writing can be fine-tuned. The writing can be better. Give us some of that old school Saints Row feel. Now, I'm not going to say that in the terms of, oh, we need to go back to all the way back to the beginning. We need to be exactly like Saints Row 2, exactly like Saints Row 1. We need that gangster style. You know, I'm not going to do any of that crap. No. When I say old school Saints Row feel, I'm not talking about full on Saints Row 1, Saints Row. No. What I mean is, you can have serious dialogue, you can have serious writing, and make it to have stakes. Now, I was listening to a video by Hensley's Cauldron a few days ago. You can check her video out in the description. She didn't tell me to do it. I'm just doing it because I feel like her content's great. But she was talking about how the story didn't really have many stakes to it, how the ending seemed rushed, and I feel it kind of was rushed. And there weren't really that many stakes. It was just them setting up. And if they were just setting things up for the future, then that's fine. But you could still add stakes to where it means something that you're taking over these districts. It means something that you're taking over these territories. It means something that once you do it, you feel like, that was so fulfilling. Because there could have been more stakes when it comes to maybe if Marshall took complete control of Santo Ileso. Maybe if the idols felt threatened because Marshall was implementing their things into the city. What if there was a situation where they did what Stag did in Saints Row the Third and they took complete control? There was troops flooding the streets, bridges that were taken up because they were sectioning off pieces of the city because they were just trying to get to the Saints, and they were trying to get to every single gang because they wanted that control. They wanted to eliminate those threats. What if that happened? And what if the idols, what if the Panteros, what if they came together and they tried to say, okay, we have to stop this? Like, there's so many layers that you could have added into the story. And I know that's not the devs' fault. I'm not blaming the devs. I'm not going to sit here and criticize the devs. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, the devs did a horrible job. No, this isn't the point. The point I'm making is this. There's always room for improvement. And I think they know that too. There's always room to get better. There's always room to grow. And I believe this expansion pass could do that. There could be better gang writing. There could be better dialogue between the main characters. Don't give up on the main characters just because people didn't like them. Writing can change a whole lot of perception. Perception is reality 9 times out of 10, but at the same time, if you write them well and you give them defined character development and give people a reason to say, I like this character. Like, I personally like Nina the best, okay? Just my personal opinion. I know one of the content managers likes Kevin a lot. That's the point I'm trying to make. Give these characters defined roles more. let's dig more into their backstory. We got bits and pieces during the story campaign, but let's dig a little bit deeper. That idea that I had before the game came out of us finding little collectibles in the open world that tell the backstory of these characters could be fun. I believe it could be fun. I don't know if they would add that in future updates. I would, if any Volition devs are listening to me, if they are, thank you for listening. But if you did implement a thing where you could collect more things in the world, and maybe audio logs from Saints Row 4, I pitched that idea. Audio logs from Saints Row 4 with just the characters giving their backstory, like why Nina wants to get into art so much, what happened with Kevin's back history with the idols, what happened with Eli and why he wanted to come to Santa Elisa in the first place, to start a business or be an entrepreneur. Like, what about the boss and his or her interest in Marshall? Like, it's something that can be explored further if you want to do so. And of course, other things can be added to, like interiors for the buildings, cheat codes. I know that's something that they said they couldn't do originally, but probably they can do in a future update. Like more hairstyles, more clothing options. There's so many other things that we could list here, and we'd be here all day about that. But the main thing that can be updated, the main thing that can be done, is better writing and a condense, because that would but a story that hooks people. Let me put it that way: a story that hooks people. Give the community, and I'm talking about the true community. I'm talking about the community that doesn't threaten devs, that doesn't. You get the point. Anyway, the community at large, give them something to sink their teeth into. This story was okay. I think it's consistent okay from 65% of the fans, but it can be better. And there's nothing wrong with saying that things could be better. There's nothing wrong with saying that something was good, but it can be better. That something was okay, but it can be better. There's nothing wrong with that, and we should stop with the criticizing of criticism. We should stop the criticizing of criticism, because if these devs don't get criticized, then how can they get better? If we just attack them and say that their game is horrible, and say that they should be fired, and say that the company should shut down, that's hate. Hate is not criticism. Hate is hate. Criticism is being genuinely concerned and being genuinely cautious and genuinely caring about these people that work hard on these games. Criticism is going to them or finding a way to get to them, like what I'm doing now, and saying, look, the writing, in my opinion, was okay. Could it be better? Yes. Here's how it can be better. Here's what I think could be done. I may be wrong. I can admit that. But there's nothing wrong with me caring about what's to come, because I care about the franchise. I care about the future of these developers. I care about the future of Volition. I care about the future of Saints Row. And if you care about the future of Saints Row, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. The writing, in my opinion, is the most important thing that this expansion pass can do, because it's obvious it's going to be more story missions, more open world, and that's what matters. Tighten up the writing, add some more content, add some more clothing, add some more hairstyles, add interiors, cheats. Those are the main things. But in my personal opinion, the writing, you tighten up the writing, like you did from Saints Row 1 to Saints Row 2, you tighten that up a little bit, make the dialogue a little bit better, make it not so cringy to some people. And there you go, you got something. And like I've always said, and I'm going to keep saying it because it's true, the reboot was the foundation for the future. You build off that foundation by making the foundation stronger. And how do you make the foundation stronger? You keep building on it. You keep building on what's working and take away what's not working. If that dialogue, if the majority of people thought the dialogue wasn't working, go back to the drawing board. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with saying our writing what was good and to us, bad to some people. There's nothing wrong with saying that we can improve on what's there. Nothing wrong with that at all. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. You think I'm right? You think I'm wrong? Let's have a civil conversation in the comments. Thank you guys so much for listening. I appreciate it. And I will talk to you guys in the next video. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, and hit the bell for my notifications to make sure you are informed when another video like this comes out. And I will talk to you guys in the next one.